G'day everyone. I was just putting this guitar pedal together, and it's just something that I thought might be useful for people that are particularly new to guitar pedals, just to make sure that the guitar pedal is actually going to work when you turn it on. Something to keep an eye out for. I've mentioned before to make sure that the tip piece, the bits that connect to the tip of your guitar pedal, your guitar cable, make sure that they don't connect to the, they don't touch the enclosure, because the enclosure is ground and you don't want your signal connected to ground. Otherwise, you're not going to hear anything out the other end. You're gonna wire it up, you're gonna plug everything in, you turn it on, and nothing's going to come out of it. So that's what happens if the tip piece is connected to the enclosure. But something else that I thought of is you actually should also make sure that tip piece isn't actually connected, isn't actually touching any of the metal part on the 3-pole double throw. Any of this bit, make sure it's not actually touching any of that, because that's obviously conductive and it's touching the enclosure, so it's also connected to ground. So you're going to have that same problem that you're going to switch it on, nothing's going to come out. When you turn the pedal on to test it, you're not going to get any signal out. It's just going to act pretty much like it's dead. So to avoid that, just make sure, just position it in the right place, and yeah, just tighten it up. I use a socket, as I've said before. Use a socket to tighten up the nuts on it. Once you've got it in the right spot, and then make sure that it's not touching the metal bits on the 3-pole double throw or the enclosure. You can actually do that with continuity mode. Place one lead on the tip and the other lead on the enclosure, and you shouldn't get a beep. Your multimeter shouldn't beep. That's not going to work with the shield of the stereo jack, which, if you're not familiar with this, I'll show you the difference. The long one is the tip, and that's the shield. If you use continuity mode and you touch this connector to the enclosure, you will get a beep, because that's how it's supposed to be. The shield is supposed to be connected to ground, but the tip, the longer one, is not supposed to be connected to ground. So just make sure that it's not touching, the tip is not touching the enclosure or that metal part on the top of the 3-pole double throw. Just double check it when you put your hardware and you tighten it up before you start wiring it up. Just use the continuity mode on your multimeter and make sure that that's not happening, because otherwise you're going to get to the other end of the build, plug it in, and you're not going to get anything out the other end, which can be a bit frustrating. So yeah, that's just a quick tip on setting up the hardware inside the enclosure. Setting up the jacks anyway inside the enclosure. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.